Hello YouTube friends, and welcome back to Renee Anita B. I have another What Sold video for you today. Since my last What Sold video did so well, I thought you might like to see some things that have sold since then. These are 20 things that sold in early spring through April. None of them were spectacular. There were a couple good sales in there. Most of them were small items. Keep in mind that I offer free shipping on all of my items. My average shipping cost per item is $4 to $5 because most of my things go first class. The heavier items do cost a bit more to ship, but I try to factor that cost into their price. And just a little something I'd like to share. If you are an eBay seller and you're not sending offers out to your customers, you're missing out on a lot, because you'll see that many of these sales happened only because I sent an offer to an interested buyer. So here we go with our spring sales. The first item was a 1988 Precious Moments Somebody Sleeping figurine. I paid $1.38 for this at my local thrift store. I sent an offer to an interested buyer, and it sold for $17.86. The second item was a 1995 Lefton miniature Easter train figurine. I picked this up at a Goodwill store. I paid, I think, $1.49 per piece, so a total of $5.96. It did have some repairs on it, which I disclosed in my listing. I accepted an offer, and it sold for $19. The third item was a Ukrainian Easter egg decorating kit. I paid $1 for this at a garage sale while I was on vacation a couple years ago. I finally got it listed. A buyer sent an offer. I counter-offered, and it sold for $20. The fourth item was a set of 12 used Spider-Man plastic Easter eggs. I paid 48 cents for these at my local thrift store. I ran an auction, and they sold for $15.44. The fifth item was an American Girl pink volleyball outfit. I paid $3.50 for this at a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store. I accepted an offer, and it sold for $25. The sixth item was a set of 5 Avon Springtime Cuties Easter ornaments. I actually put these together into a lot. They were from 2 different garage sale adventures that I was on, so I have a total of $1.25 into them. I accepted an offer, and they sold for $14. The seventh item was a vintage Cranston Printworks fabric Easter bunny panel. This was just something that I had laying around my house that I had purchased many years ago. I accepted an offer on it, and it sold for $16. The eighth item was a set of 18 mini polystone Easter ornaments. I paid 47 cents for these at my local thrift store. I had a lot of watchers on these. I ended up sending them to Puerto Rico, and I got the full asking price of $20. The ninth item was a set of 15 mini wooden spring gardening ornaments. I paid 36 cents for these at my local thrift store, and they sold for $11.94. The 10th item was a pair of Justin women's cowboy boots. I paid $4 for these at a garage sale. I spent a little time cleaning them and conditioning them. I sent an offer to an interested buyer, and they sold for $44.94. The 11th item was a set of 6 Noritake salt cellars. I paid $3 for these at a garage sale. I learned about these by watching the Crazy Lamp Ladies channel. I accepted an offer, and they sold for $16. Number 12 was a signed best metal Easter bunny with egg pin. I paid $1 for this at a garage sale. I accepted an offer and it sold for $12. The 13th item was a vintage Sansko horse figurine. I paid $1.97 for this at my local thrift store. I accepted an offer and it sold for $14. The 14th item was a ceramic pink elephant figurine. I paid 38 cents for this at my local thrift store. There were lots of watchers on it. I accepted an offer and it sold for $12. Number 15 was a 1980s set of Lillian Vernon wooden nesting Easter eggs. I basically have nothing into these. I lotted it up with a bunch of other Easter things I bought at a garage sale, and I accepted a best offer on these, and it sold for $15. Number 16 was a set of 2 miniature porcelain dolls in bunny suits. Again, I have basically nothing into these. It was also something that I had lotted up with the previous item. I had found a bunch of vintage Easter things at a garage sale, and nothing was marked, and they just said make an offer. I think I offered $1 or $2 for it, and I remember the gentleman saying no, that he needed more for it. So I can't remember exactly what I paid for it. I think I paid $3. I may have paid $5, and I've well earned my money back and then some. It sold for the full asking price of $14.94. Number 17 was a set of 2 Houston Harvest cat coffee cups. I paid 37 cents each for these at my local thrift store. I sent an offer to an interested buyer, and they sold for $28.94. The 18th item was a Shirley of Hollywood black women's corset with skulls on it. I paid $2.97 for this at my local thrift store. I sent an offer to an interested buyer, and it sold for $28.86. The 19th item was a Harley-Davidson plaid women's top. I paid $3.97 for this at my local thrift store. I accepted an offer, and it sold for $22.94. The last item, number 20, was a Bare Republic mineral sunscreen lotion. I paid $2 for it at a garage sale last fall. It had an expiration date of April 2021 on it, so as soon as I had an interested buyer, I sent an offer, and it shipped to Puerto Rico and sold for $15.94. So hopefully that gives you a few ideas of things you can watch for the next time you're out thrifting. I'm going to show you 20 things that sold in early... Oh my gosh. Why am I having so many problems? I encourage you to do it. Do it. Just do it. I do encourage you to send offers to buyers because it will increase your sales. Was that so hard to say? Obviously it was. It took me like 20 tries. Sold for $17.86. You're not going to work for me again today, are you, you little putz? The 18th item was a... Oh my gosh. Let's try this 10 times. I'm going to run out of memory or battery. I just know it. So as I said before, they were small items, but I was happy to have... But there were a lot of... Anyway, who cares about all that stuff? So as always, from my heart to yours, share love, not hate. Have a wonderful day. Bye.